Ah yes, Godzilla raids again. A classic kaiju film that's neglected by the fanbase for being the middle child of two triumphs that found its place due to being a little quirky. Being one of the few flat-out sequels in the series, this movie takes place in a time shortly after the first film and shares its continuity directly. Monsters are merely a fact of life that need to be worked around now. Professor Yamane makes an appearance and explains the events of the first movie. This is helped by some footage of the landings, the destruction of Tokyo, and this greatly raises the stakes and tension by clearly establishing there's no way to destroy Godzilla while also establishing what he's capable of forthright. That, along with the film taking place in Osaka rather than the already devastated Tokyo, seals it really, really well. The arrival of a second Godzilla and a new monster known as Anguirus solidifies that we now live in a world of monsters. The perspective shifts to those much further from the conflict this time, centering on a group of people working in a cannery, and deals with how the common man would deal with a situation of this caliber. In that way, it feels more grounded. We get to explore their lives somewhat, a cute little romance subplot happens. Having to move the main business out of Osaka after the disaster that is Godzilla's landing. It's good fun, and I like the human plot immensely. Firstly, before we get into anything else, I would like to consider the design somewhat. The Gyakushu Goji suit is one I have a bit of a fondness for. The Raid's Again design was noticeably slimmed down across the board to make movements easier and admittedly less torturous for the suit actor. This results in the suit looking rather gaunt. The puppet they used for close-ups and atomic breath shots had crooked, forward-protruding teeth, making it a bit obvious which is which when, they're on screen. The movie frequently uses close-ups and reaction shots from Godzilla, leading to some fantastic images of the monsters. Anguirus, the new monster introduced in this film, looks and moves brilliantly, acted to perfection, designed flawlessly, his look taken straight from old paleo art. God, how wrong we were. His design to me is a remnant of that age of science. It's very nostalgic. Bring him back, Toho. We really don't see enough quadruped kaiju anymore. And even then we don't get them in the spotlight ever. Both monsters look and sound imposing and massive, with deafening roars akin to screams. I actually used to be scared of Anguirus' roar when I was a teenager. Speaking of sound, the score this go-around is commendable if not iconic. The tension-building pieces are straight from a horror movie. In my honest opinion, a notable lack of music is a win for the score as well. The blackout sequence and subsequent police chase are more tense in silence, only for the music to pick up as the flames draw Goji near, cementing Osaka's fate as doom. Said prisoner escape sequence has to be one of my favorite parts of the film. Just a high-tension chase scene leading into utter devastation. It's my favorite piece of destruction in the movie, and a high point for the effects and action. The battles between the two kaiju are frantic and destructive, feeling like two animals trying to tear each other apart while obliterating a city of wonderfully made models like a hurricane. The final battle here is an utter spectacle. I can see why this bit of trivia from Wikizilla exists. The final battle of the film, pitting the JSDF against Gojira, is a solid ending. The plan itself is kind of interesting, burying Goji in ice to force him to hibernate or kill him outright. This leads into the death of the character Kobayashi. The effects and scale are absolutely wonderful, though I feel it was a little rushed. I think a few more minutes of runtime could have put a bit more meat on the bones of this scene. In conclusion, forgotten does not mean forgettable. This is a good watch, a solid kaiju flick with a nice main plot, cute subplot, and great effects. It might leave something to be desired for some, and that's totally okay. This movie gets a reanimation.